Good morning. I'm your host, Jordan Thomas, and welcome to Good Morning Borough. These are the stories, top events for the week. These stories for today are Edinboro funding,
Uncomfortable conversations,
fermentation class.
and the man on the street.
As of Monday, April 15th, 75 faculty and staff members are supporting the newly established Hardship Fund for students. The fund was made possible by the Advancement Office to provide financial assistance when recruiting students and as a way to help retain undergraduate students who would otherwise not be able to attend the university due to the financial hardship due to catastrophic or unforeseen events. In February, Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Senator Ed Markey unveiled a 14-page resolution that included ideas aimed to address climate change, including public works projects, high-quality health care, access to clean water and air, and affordable food. Edinboro University faculty experts will address the economic and political implications of this proposal during an open forum on Edinboro's main campus. Launched during the 2017 and 2018 academic year, Uncomfortable Conversations was developed as a series to engage in meaningful civil discourse on timely, often sensitive issues that are helping shape the national dialogue. This panel discussion was free and open to the public. The new fermentation class science major will kick off in the fall 2019 with a detailed course curriculum recently unveiled. It is currently being listed as the only Bachelor's of Science in Fermentation program in the state. The university's advancement office is hosting a few different gatherings to promote the new major. Students who decide to major in fermentation science will also take biology classes, biochemistry, and more. And finally, this week's Man on the Street. We went out asking the anticipation of the new Marvel's movie, Avengers Endgame. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
My question for you today, Brandon, is if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
I would like to be invisible.
Why?
I think it can make me potentially a lot of money doing various activities, and I don't know, I just think it would be cool. Like, you know everybody's thoughts, you know, like, things that you don't know, you know? You could be invisible. You could be I forget the term or the metaphor, but like the fly on the wall. The fly on the wall, it is, yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Brandon. Okay, Emily, and my question for you today is if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
Ooh, I want to be invisible.
The last person said invisible. Why do you want to be invisible?
Because it would be so cool to, like, spy on people and just, I don't know, I just think it'd be cool.
What about, like, stealing money? That's what the other guy said,
Or
too.
stealing money, that'd be a good one.
All right, well, thank you very much.
All right.
My question for you today is if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
To read people's minds,
To read people's minds, why is that?
so then I know what they're always thinking, so I could be one step ahead.
The last two people said invisible, and they said so they could sneak up on people and, like, listen to what they're saying. I feel like this is a common trend. And my question for you today is, if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I would say I'm a musician, so to be able to pick up any kind of instrument and be able to play it perfectly.
Well, that's different. The last two people said they wanted to read people's minds and be invisible so they could spy on people.
I don't care about anybody else. I care about myself.
That's what I like to hear. All right, well, my question for you today, Meg, is if you could have any superpower, what would it be
It would be shape-shifting,
and why?
because I can turn into anything that I want.
What would you turn into? Like, what would be the first thing you turn into if you got that power?
A really long, like, line so I could, like, go into cracks of walls and, like, listen to conversations and stuff.
That's the third person that said they wanted to spy on someone. I told you, dude, it's a common theme. All right, question for you today is if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I would like to be able to teleport, because I think that'd be pretty cool to go anywhere you want.
What would be the first place you would go to?
Maybe, like, Europe.
Would you do anything, like, specific in Europe with your new teleporting power?
I don't know.
You wouldn't, like, rob a bank or go spy on people or something?
No.
Okay, good, because that's what everybody else said they would do with their superpowers. And my question for you, Jeff, is if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Probably fast speed,
Why is that?
because I normally run for recreation. I just see the value in being able to, if you need something, you can get there, grab it, get back.
What's, like, the first, like, I don't know, place? If you can run really fast, I guess you can go to places, like, quicker. What would be the first, like, place you would visit, I guess? Or first, like, activity you would do, I guess?
I could just tour the world for free, pretty much.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Next things, we're going to be heading over to Noah for all things Borough sports. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Join Campus Media, take 3. Action.
All right, everyone, let's get this all cleared up. I would never tell you to join Campus Media, even if I was in a commercial for Campus Media. I mean, even if you were watching me live, right now, I wouldn't tell you to join, no matter what that cue card says.
Just say what's on the cue card.
No.
This is your DJ.
Even when I'm hosting my own radio show, making podcasts, or even playing my favorite songs live on air, I still wouldn't tell you to join Campus Media. Even when I'm writing, editing, and even taking photos for the campus newspaper, I still wouldn't tell you to join Campus Media. Even when I'm at a live sporting event and I'm catching all of this epic footage, I still wouldn't tell you to join Campus Media. But even when I'm in a room filled with Campus Media members and they're all wearing their super cool Campus Media t-shirts, I still wouldn't tell you to join. I would ask you, do you want to join Campus Media?
Good morning, Borough. Noah here, happy to bring you all things Edinboro sports. This week has been the busiest that our athletics have been all year, so there's obviously lots to relay. Starting with our track and field teams who have been busy this past week, participating in 2 separate invitationals last weekend, and then finishing their 3rd invitational in the past week today and yesterday at Slippery Rock. Last weekend at the Bison Outdoor Classic, hosted by Bucknell, 6 men and 6 women from the Edinboro track and field team competed in a very talented field with numerous D1 programs and top-tier D2 and 3 programs throughout. Sophomore Stephanie Parsons led the way for the women, placing 12th in the 1500 meter run with a time of 4:25. Her placement says very little about her performance though, as the time was good enough to beat her own previous school record by almost 2 seconds, and also good enough to get 7th and best time in Division II to date. In addition to Parsons' strong showing, Hope Petrocarlo and Abby Peters performed well enough to qualify for the PSAC championships in their own respective events. On the men's side at Bucknell, Corey Weffing led the way for the 6 guys. In his own 1500 meter run, he had a time of 3 minutes and 46 seconds, which was good enough for 11th in the event and 9th in all of D2 this year. The men's team picked up 3 more first-time PSAC qualifiers with Jared Hallow in the 10,000 meter run, while Brendan Oswalt and Eduardo Tapik both qualified at the 800 meter run respectively. While those 12 athletes stayed busy at Bucknell, many more track and field athletes competed in Westminster at another invitational. For the men, 3 competitors posted qualifying times or scores, with Trey Smith stealing the show as he won the javelin event outright with a performance good enough for 8th in the region currently. Ward Reese also qualified for the PSAC championships in the 5,000 meter run with a time of 15:29. This time was good enough for 12th in the region, and then lastly, Devin Brown qualified in the discus. On the women's side in Westminster, Kendra Rice had a career throw in the shot put, bettering her own qualifying standard for the PSAC championships and finishing 3rd in the event outright. Alicia Fritz and Savannah Wheeler also had strong showings as both of them recorded top 11 finishes in their field events. After today, our teams have 2 more meets remaining, and with the PSAC championships just 11 days away, our athletes seem to be hitting their stride at just the right time. Thanks to their dominant week, we'd like to congratulate Stephanie Parsons and Trey Smith on being named Good Morning Borough's Athletes of the Week this week. Stephanie is repeating on the recognition this week, and Trey is hopping on board to earn the sweep for the track and field team. Congratulations, you guys. Our men's and women's tennis teams have also been back in action, with the men recording 2 wins last week at Bloomsburg. They beat Kutztown dominantly 7-0, and then also beat host Bloomsburg convincingly with a score of 6-1. The guys resume action this Saturday at home versus Mercyhurst for Senior Day, so go out and support the guys. The women's team wasn't so hot, however, playing on Tuesday at IUP, dropping the match 1-5 before playing Mercyhurst at home on Wednesday for Senior Night. They eventually ended up dropping that match as well, but despite the loss, we'd like to congratulate Laura Lopez, Tatiana Batala, and Yelena Vicenovic on great careers here at the Borough, and good luck moving forward, ladies. The Edinboro women's lacrosse team dropped their huge game last week to Westchester, but luckily they bounced back with a big win at home versus Lake Erie with a season-high 14 goals, and the final was 14-10 on Tuesday. With only 3 games left, the team looks to finish the season very strong, and it all starts this Saturday versus Shippensburg at Sox Harrison Stadium. The game is slated for 11 a.m., so get out and support the ladies on their own senior day. Our Edinboro softball team stayed busy as always this week. To start for last week, the team dropped a doubleheader to Lake Erie, but then the team got really busy midweek with a doubleheader on Wednesday and Thursday. Starting with the doubleheader on Wednesday versus Mercyhurst, the team recorded a sweep with scores of 7-4 in Game 1 and then 8-0 in Game 2. On Thursday against Slippery Rock, the team recorded another sweep with a score of 10-9 in Game 1 and then 5-0 in Game 2. The team looks to continue riding hot hands with another doubleheader on Saturday against Cal for their senior day. Moving on, our football team is back in action tonight at 6 p.m. with the red and white game being played in Sox Harrison Stadium. Come out and see the boys and preview all the crazy action that's going to be upcoming this fall. The football game is going to kick off an exciting weekend here on campus, and it only gets better tomorrow with the women's lax team, men's tennis, and softball all having their senior days. Lax is on for 11 a.m., men's tennis at 12, and softball at 1 and 3. Get out and show your school pride, cheering on our seniors as they finish up their careers and our teams as they hope to finish the season strong. That's all that I've got for sports this week. I'll be back for one more next week as our spring athletics, club sports, and rec sports are all finished out the semester. We're almost there, guys. I'll see you next week. Over to Courtney for weather after a short break.
Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
Oh, what a play!
18 universities.
How competitive is this?
23 championships.
It's over. We have new PSAC champs.
7,100 student athletes. Make the PSAC yours.
My PSAC is passion.
My PSAC is pride. PSAC is Pennsylvania.
Passion, pride, Pennsylvania. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference.
Good morning, Borough. I'm Courtney, here to bring you all your spring weather updates. First, I want to thank one of my friends, Jacob Solis, for bringing us this nice weather storm from Sunday's tornado. And just thank you, Jacob, for this photo. Please recommend safety if you're going to do this. This is just outside of Pogue. You can see over here, over here, the building, but it was pretty windy, pretty rainy, and lots of hail. So, for today, we have a high of 50 and a low of 42. And there's going to be a lot of rain, even this upcoming week. So, as you can see, this upcoming week, we do have our nice spring temperatures back, except, unfortunately, it is nothing but clouds and rain. I guess that's what we get for living just a few miles south of dreary Erie. All right, so upcoming events include, as Noah had already mentioned, we do have the red and white game at Sox Harrison Field tonight from 6 to 9. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen, but I still think it'll be something enjoyable. However, for those of you who aren't huge football fans, we do have the Night of One-Act Plays. This includes various plays put on by students from the Diebold Center, and they will have a lot going on. So tickets are $3 for EU students, but you must have your ID. $5 for faculty, staff, alumni, senior citizens, and non-EU students who also need their ID, as well as $10 for general admission. Next, you have your UPB movie for this upcoming week, and it'll be Isn't It Romantic, playing Wednesday at 8, Thursday at 8, Friday at 5, 8, and 11, Saturday at 8, and Sunday at 2. This movie stars Rebel Wilson, and it's a pretty great rom-com. I'm sure any couple can enjoy it. But that's all your updates for this week. I'm Courtney, and now to Kira with this week's movie review after this commercial break.
Can we tell you everything about Edinburgh University in just 30 seconds?
No way.
So let's just say, if you're looking for an exceptional and affordable education to build the foundations of your career success, you'll find it right here at Edinburgh, where you're more than just a student. You're a fighting Scot. Schedule your visit or apply today at edinburgh.edu.
Film review is on the Netflix series Black Summer. Black Summer is an 8-episode series produced and directed by Carl Steigner and John Haynes. The zombie thrilling series stars Jane King as Rose, a mother separated from her daughter while attempting to seek shelter in the wilderness. Roll clip.
They don't have a plan for us. Everything is falling apart.
Things go horribly wrong for her, her child, and her husband in a blink of an eye, leaving Rose to fend for herself and eventually place her trust in a stranger. Spears, played by Justin Chukari, is a man with plenty to hide. Though Kang is the biggest star attached to this series, Rose is part of a much larger ensemble, and her story is but one piece of a multi-pronged narrative in which smaller stories intersect with or overlap one another in ways that gives the audience a comprehensive view of a town collapsing as a result of a terrifying outbreak. This is an interesting show because it's set in the Z Nation universe, so I was excited to see what they could bring and what they could offer. What I really liked was the camera work. The movement and the cinematography really focuses on the characters and follows them in their journey, especially in episode 1, where there are a few different backstories and in a way that's being set up for these different characters. Overall, I really enjoyed it. It portrays the reality of humans in dire situations without all the heroics, drama, and complications that any other zombie movie or TV series has. No finding a cure or safe haven. Just simple survival. Black Summer is a good show. I would give it a 7.5 out of 10 for character development, the suspense created during the events throughout the show. And although in some episodes the storyline lacks detail and direction, they did leave room for improvement. So if you like zombies, give it a try. But if you're a person who picks apart movies over every little detail, then you know this series might drive you insane. All right, guys, that's it for this week's film review. See you guys next week.
This is the end of this week's show. Be sure to stay up to date with all things Borough by visiting www.edinburghnow.com and checking out our Twitter and Instagram at Edinburgh Now. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great weekend.
Mm-hmm.